reference earlier, you don't have any kids.
I do not. That has helped me succeed as well. Definitely.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole huge thing I'm not doing, which is raising children.
Would it, people, obviously someone will be listening, but yeah, but it would make you happier. You know, someone might say that. I'm trying to rebuttal.
I don't think it would. I've been around, obviously, a lot of children. I'm not ignorant to what it's like to. I've seen everyone I know has kids. I see. I'm 40 again. You know, like it's not. I know. You know, I've some of my friends have had kids for decades. You know.
I have to agree with him with that. When I was younger, I relate to that. When I was younger, all my friends started having kids in high school. It was my mom like, you're going to the military. All your friends are having kids. You got to go to the military, period, before you get caught up in them. So when you're watching all your friends have children after children after children, they're bragging about their kids, kid after kid after kid. You know what I'm saying? You start to say, all right, they love their kids, they love their kids, they love their kids. But here comes the drama. But here comes the baby mama drama. But here comes the nightmares. But here comes the disconnect. You start to see as your friends have kids and their kids get older, the bigger the problems get. The more problems you have with the baby mothers, the more problems you're having with the woman. And I think that this is what kept me single, and this is what kept me from having children, is because I seen no glory in it. I was the guy guys wanted to call up and talk to about their problems with their baby mama, or problems they're having with their kids, problem they're having with kids. Now they done lost their job. They got to do this. Now they need to make money to do that. They got to have this. Having kids is stressful. So when you're watching other people go through problems with children and marriages because you're so stuck on it, then it causes you not to have kids. Like, for instance, I told myself, maybe I'll have kids when I'm 30, 31, 32 years old. So I dedicated myself to traveling the world until I got to that. That's why I told you guys, when I was a player, I was messing with whores, ordering whores, being with slutty girls, because I was not prepared for the good girl who wanted to sit down and have a family. I wouldn't deal with those type of girls because they wasn't in the direction that I was going. So I separated myself and I said, you know what? I don't want to have kids. But throughout that process of me saying, I'm going to have kids when I turn 30, I sat back in my 20s and watched all my friends make the mistakes, to the point that when I got around to have kids, and that was 8 years ago, not 10 years ago, the agendas have already changed. So by the time I made up my mind that maybe I would want to have kids, women had already transitioned into a whole nother wave of women that I did not want to deal with. And some people would be like, well, those are just the girls you dealing with. Sorry, but a desperate man goes and search for woman after woman after woman. I'm still a dreamer. I still got shit I want to do. I could still get a piece of ass. Having kids and get married is a different ballgame. You can easily find a woman to have sex with, but finding a woman to have a connection with was the hardest. Once again, I have a woman now, but I do not plan on having kids. Me and her have already talked about that, and I told her I'm happier the way that we are. All right, let's get back to self. Big shout outs to Sigma 6 with the $2. Says, disagree. You can only have kids when you're strong enough. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Let's get to it.
Some people want kids. Some people don't want kids. I think a lot of people have kids before they even think about it. From what I've seen, honestly, you just are told, you go through life, you get married, you have kids. It's what happens. And me and my wife were just, neither of us were like that, you know? And
I look at that statement. Sigma 6, I know this is your first time coming around here, brother, but I feel like this is a disagreement for attention. Keandre, get rid of him.
Honestly, the older we get, the more happy and reaffirmed we are with our choice to not have kids. Like, it was something we kind of talked about more, and we were like, are we made the right choice? Are we sure? Now, if more than anything, the conversation is like, honestly, thank God. We don't have children. We get to do whatever we want. We are in the prime of our lives. We are smarter than we've ever been. We understand ourselves more than we ever have. We have the capacity to achieve a level of work and a level of communication and care for one another and a lifestyle we can live with one another that we've never been able to live before, and we can just do that.
And I agree with him on that. I agree. Once you get to a level of happiness, because we're living in such a distracted, devilish world that has a dark cloud over society right now. We're living in mental illness. So it's really hard for people to maintain their happiness when you have so many people that are running around trying to snatch your energy from you. Everybody wants to be seen and heard, but the only way to get attention is to troll, to disagree, to pick up arguments. People really, really need attention. They're doing anything for it. So once you get to a level of happiness, you have to block out all that negativity. Just like the guy that just donated to the channel. He donated, but that's not a donation that allows you to disagree just to troll. It didn't even make any sense. And I told you, you come on this channel disagreeing for attention, your ass is fucking gone. I don't care how much you donate. We would not get our energy snatched over here. That trolling shit is dead. And this is one of the reasons why people don't want to have kids. It's because when you're in Sigma Nation and you're a Sigma and you get the state of life where you can consciously move with happiness, you don't want to bring any other distractions if it's not needed. Like I told you guys before, I don't have kids because I don't have a plan for the kid, but I got tons of plans of what I want to do with my life. It just doesn't involve a kid because I see so much opportunity that I can do. And I just don't look at kids as being happy. I think that's for people that don't have dreams. I think that if you don't have dreams and you don't have vision and you don't have anything going for yourself, I think having a kid will make you busy. But when you're a person like me who dreams, you see me make music, you guys see me do skits, you see me go live every day, you see me do reaction videos. You just watching me as a content creator, you see so many spectrums of colors that I put out. Okay, that makes me happy. Sitting down, having a kid, raising it, and spending more time trying to keep my child away from the matrix while society is trying to bring him into the matrix, I don't have time for that. I look at these kids that are trolling, and we got nothing but trolls online, and I say to myself, their parents must hate them. I would be such a shamed parent if I knew my child is doing nothing but sitting online trolling every day for attention. I would say to myself, where the fuck did I go wrong? You had a child to become a wasteless person that sits online trying to snatch energy from people? That's what we live in now. Like, you're willing to give birth to a child to sit at home and do that. That's what the generation before did that. They gave birth to these kids. They had these kids because it was cute to walk around the grocery store. They got sad. They got lonely. They started getting old. And they said, let me just have a child to have something to do. Then when they got that child, as that child was a baby, they treat it like a puppy. Everybody loves it. But the moment them children started talking, the moment the kids started comprehending what's going on, the parents are like, oh my God, they're getting uncontrollable. Give them a cell phone. Oh man, they're getting uncontrollable. I really don't want them now. Let's give them an iPad. Let's just stick them in front of a computer. Because I don't want to raise my child because now it's a headache. They don't want to put in the work. They had the kid because they like the baby phase. They like the puppy phase. Everybody like pit bulls when they're puppies. But once it grow up, that's when people are like, oh man, I didn't prepare for this because I got to make sure that I keep my job, and keeping my job is stressful, and I don't want to come home and deal with a child. So a lot of these children, they have just been grouped into the computer, so they don't bother the parents when the parents get home from work, and it has turned them into a bot. The generation before have birthed nothing but body kids that's sitting at home angry, sad, no connection with mom, no connection with dad. They cursing grandma out. They're wishing death onto everyone. And this is what the fuck I'm supposed to be bringing into the world? We birthed a generation of bots that are doing nothing but being overly emotional and trying to snatch energy from other people. This generation didn't even produce regular human beings. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to have a damn child, because I don't want my child to mingle amongst these fucking bots. What are you having a kid for? Oh, I have a child that's been sitting in his computer room for 20 years with nothing but evil thoughts. That's all he wake up to is evil thoughts. Everything he do is evil. Walking outside is evil. Mom and dad's evil. Grandma is evil. And then you have the kids who are battling abuse from mom and dad, talking to them like they ain't shit. Mom and dad cursing you out, taking their anger out on you because they can't handle the pressures of life. You have those children that are on here too, who have broke parents that have become narcissists and have talked to them like they wasn't shit. Now they online trying to take somebody else's energy. They trying to treat somebody online like somebody is treating them in real life. You have a generation of nothing but lonely, sad-ass fucking kids that don't know what to do. Why would I bring a child into this shit? That would be their friends. Because no matter what happens in life, I'ma still chase my dreams. So it's better off that I do not have any children so I can sit back and be happy, distracting myself from this madness that we live in. You got women going home killing all their kids. Husbands going home killing all their kids whenever the pressures of life kick in. Because they wanted to have a family because it was cute. Everybody's having families because it's cute, but do not have a plan as to how they are going to raise their kids. And you're mad that people don't want to have kids? What the fuck? Everybody that woke up to happiness and found the happy place, they're like, I'm trying to stay here. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to stay here because I hate being around other people's kids. They don't have any connection. They don't have them at all. Let's see what else he got. And then we're going to get into my lecture. My lecture's going to get deep today. We definitely going in.
And we don't have to raise a child, which the world does not need right now. and so yeah, it's we're very happy with our choice to not have kids. And I work with a lot of people with kids, and I see definitively that I have more time to both do the things I need to do and the things I enjoy doing than they do.
I agree. See, I got all the time in the world to film and edit. Go work on my cars and do what I want to do to distract myself. These kids don't have time to do nothing but sit on the internet and try to find the next trend, find the next excitement. I keep trying to tell you, kids are programmed like gambling. They're gambling with Instagram every day. They're gambling with TikTok every day. And now they're gambling with YouTube. They're trying to find happiness with each click, with each like. That's where the brains are. They don't have time to be creative. They don't have time to do things in real life that are beneficial. I remember when I was younger, where the cell phones wasn't there, everybody snuck out the house, right? We used to always sneak out the house. You go to your friend's house, you throw the rocks up to his window. You're like, yo, we down here, you coming down? You go to your new girlfriend's house, y'all throwing rocks at her window. Like, yo, you coming down? And everybody will sneak out the house, but you wouldn't go far. You'll only be a block up the street. But everybody will be like congregating and stuff. And then here come that one parent come out like, hey, what are y'all kids doing sneaking out? You better get home before I call your parents. You better get home before I call your parents. You better get home before I call your parents. I remember those little things. It was fun. Nobody got in trouble, but it built the character in you. Now you don't have that anymore. You don't have those little things in life that people value the most. You don't have that anymore. Kids are not kids anymore. They're not playing in the streets. They're not playing football in the streets. They're not playing That's My Car. They're not playing rollerblading hockey. I remember we used to play rollerblading hockey with a tennis ball and some hockey sticks. Y'all remember rolling blading hockey? It's a different ball game. Regular dude comes through with the $5. He said, it's older people who can't believe we was even born on earth, let alone having a kid in today's time. You're right. You're absolutely right. The older people, they're looking back now. All the older people older than us, they're looking at the world like, man, it's going to end at any given moment. There's no structure. I wouldn't want to bring a child into this. Let's finish this up.
And not to say their kids don't bring them joy, but I say this truthfully. I me and my wife seem to get a lot more active enjoyment out of not having kids than anyone I know seems to get out of having kids.
I agree with him 100%. Gabe Smith, big shout outs, bro. He says, I'm 25, finishing up school on purpose, no father in my life. How do I handle dealing with narcissists, hypocritical older siblings with a disabled mother? You have to cut everybody off. I have a sister now I haven't talked to since the George Floyd situation because she went a little bit too hard for me.